Hey guys, it's Kitty here. Yes, it is true. I got lost in a forest. I never thought I would get lost on a hike, but I did. Luckily, I wasn't alone. This story has some characters that need an introduction. First, we have me, Kitty. Then we have my mom, Betty. But here's where the actual main characters come in. These are my cousins. Awa, who is the oldest of all the children in the story. Kelso, who is a little younger than I am, and Alicorn. She is the second to youngest sibling. The youngest was not old enough to go on the hike with us. I actually had to call my cousins to help me remember how the story went. I don't really have a good memory. I also asked them what they'd like their nicknames to be, and those were the names they responded with. I also asked my mom, and that's the nickname she wanted too. Okay, enough introduction. Along with the story. This story takes place in the end of May in 2020. I had just moved to a mountain with my parents. Of course, the first people to visit was my aunt, uncle, and cousins. They camped out with my parents and I because there was nothing but forest and an open field on the property. My cousins really wanted to go on a nature walk. I have never really been one to like hikes, but I thought, whatever. Alicorn, you remember her, wanted to go with us. We repeatedly told her that she wouldn't want to come, but she, like the rest of us, was stubborn. We also would have gotten in trouble if we said no. So we warned her that we wouldn't be turning back the minute she'd start complaining. My mom, wanting to know which trail we'd be taking, walked us to the start of what we call the fairy forest. There were small purple flowers everywhere, and there was moss growing on the trees that made everything remind you of fairies. Here's a picture. My mom told us we had to be back in 1 hour. Luckily, I bring almost everything with me whenever I go hiking, like a watch. I even dressed in camel pants and a camel jacket and brought a walking stick. My mom told us that the number one rule was stay together. It has always been the number one rule. So, my mom went back to the adults and baby, and us kids went on our journey through the woods. I wanted to take the lead because not only did I not trust any of the knuckleheads I was with, but I also was the only one who had gone on the trail before. A little after we exited the fairy forest, I started to not recognize where we were going. The second I announced that, Awa immediately took the lead, continuing through the trail. My mom told us that we had to check our surroundings so we could remember our way back, and we did that. And someone said, "How long have we been out here?" I looked at my watch. It was broken. Even though last time I had used that thing, it was just fine. We hadn't even been out there for 5 minutes, so we made an estimated guess of the time throughout the entire walk. Alicorn started whining. "I want to go back." "Dude, no, we told you that if you came along, we weren't going to turn back when you wanted to go back early." According to what my cousins said when I called them, Alicorn was mostly scared of the cougars my mom had mentioned. "Alicorn, because you're young, have a high-pitched voice, and you're whining, you'll probably heighten our chances of attracting predators." I mean, that's kind of true. I did partially say that to get her to stop complaining. But I mean, it worked. It also helped when Awa and Kelso agreed. She didn't really talk for the rest of that time. We started to come across a small ravine. I don't really know why I mentioned that. It isn't really important to the story. Anyway, this is about the time all the scary things come to mind. Bears, cougars, raccoons, wildcats, spiders. I do remember going underneath a low evergreen tree. I struggled, and I couldn't stop thinking about spiders. Spiders crawling down my jacket, crawling in my shoes, crawling up my pants, crawling under my skin. I got out! I made it out alive! Woo! Could you have gone any slower? Way to ruin my ego, you piece of... I actually remember them saying something about me being slow. It was probably Kelso, which, fair enough. I'm slow at everything. For almost the entire time we were walking, Kelso kept trying to take the lead. I would have been fine with it if I didn't know Kelso. We decided to turn back, and like usual, Awa and Kelso got into a brother fight. Awa also kept acting like he was the only mature one there. I was the only one who was fully behaving and had to keep reminding Awa that I had done nothing wrong. Okay, I know, I'm not perfect, but name one thing I did wrong besides being a narcissistic nuisance. I don't know, because if I had tried to ask, they wouldn't have said anything, mostly because he was only paying attention to Kelso. I don't know, I would just follow them and mentally roll my eyes or want to slam my head into a tree anytime they got into a sibling fight. I swear, Alicorn and I were the only civil ones there. Okay, now it sounds like I have an ego. I'm starting to think I probably do. Whatever. When we started to head back, Kelso got angry over an argument him and Awa had, and he started to go ahead of us. Aunt Betty said we were supposed to stay together. Yeah, Kelso, slow down. You guys are the ones being slow. That was his excuse. Not to mention, he still wouldn't stop or slow down after we told him. But after some time, he got over whatever he was mad about, and he didn't go ahead of us anymore. We came to a fork some of us didn't recognize. Kelso wanted to go right, but Awa said that we came from the left trail. Why don't we just split up then? You two go that way, and we will go this way. My mom said that the number one rule was to never split up. And guess what? We all went right. We met a dead end and turned back and got completely lost. I gotta admit, I was getting a little bit nervous. I don't think anybody noticed, though. Then, you know how with some bathroom incidences, you just can't hold it in? That happened to Awa. Guys, I have to go poop. Can't you wait? Nope, I really gotta go. Ugh. Alicorn and I turned away as Awa did what he needed to do. After that, Awa took the lead again and led us back to the fairy forest. We all practically ran slow-mo back to the property once we saw the mud mountains. We had to go under or over this huge branch. I chose to go under and got stuck. No one cared, although our parents were just in sight. Afterward, we had told our moms that we got lost. That's why I always say the number one rule is to stay together, because if you get lost, you'll get lost together. I had decided it wasn't worth it to tattle on Kelso for being a rule-breaking piece of... I didn't want to waste my breath, and I think Awa didn't want to either. But then... he got in trouble. I mean, hopefully he doesn't do it again. He probably will. Hey! So that was my story of how I got lost in the forest. If you have any stories about getting lost on a hike, please let me know in the comments below. But, you know, kids will be kids and brothers will be brothers. In all honesty, my cousins are pretty cool and chill people. They're awesome. I love them. There's a possibility my cousins are watching this right now, too. So, hey, cousins. How are you? Say hi to your parents and sisters for me. They probably aren't watching this. Okay, good luck, my cools, crazy, cutes, and weirds. Bye! We had found out from my mom that we were only gone for about 10 to 20 minutes, so pretty much the entire trip was a train wreck.